Hi, it's Jon Mitchell, Mayor of New Bedford, and this is another installment of the Mayor's Weekly Update. So a couple of big announcements this week. The first concerns a major grant that we got from the federal government, $1.8 million to continue the great work of the Greater New Bedford Opioid Task Force. A few years ago, in response to the growing opioid crisis, we formed the task force that includes departments, city departments, as well as folks from our surrounding communities, our suburbs, as well as many folks from the nonprofit sector, to deal with a problem that has challenged our city, challenged families in our city, and challenged folks all over the country. The opioid crisis is a big national problem. The good news is that we've been very effective at it over the last few years. Opioid overdoses are down. Fatal ODs are way down in the last couple of years, and the work continues. Of course, it has to continue because until frankly, the numbers are down to zero, and there's still a lot of work to be done. So, but we have a good mechanism in place, and New Bedford has been recognized by the National League of Cities as one of the premier cities on this problem in the United States. We have been very effective, and this new federal grant in the amount of $1.8 million will enable us really to sustain those efforts, to see them through. And so we're really pleased that we have that money now. A strong application plus support from our congressional delegation made that happen. The second thing I wanted to talk about today is, again, more good news. This is all good news today. The second point of good news is that the scallop boats that were owned by Carlos Raphael this week were confirmed to have been sold to New Bedford fishing interests. There was an open question whether NOAA would revoke the permits on those boats or to sell them off to folks perhaps not in New Bedford. All 11 of the scallopers were sold to New Bedford-based interests, most of them to the Quinn family, which really stepped up in a big way. And so I really want to thank them, and we're so pleased that that throughput of fish, all those scallops that are landed on those boats, which are very lucrative, are staying right here in the port of New Bedford. The last thing I just wanted to talk about today is what we're doing here. We're at the James B. Congdon School in the South End, happily announcing that the state named the school a school of recognition, one of only 6 in the state, and a repeat of last year. The school ranked in the 91st percentile of all schools in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and it was the highest one in southeastern Massachusetts. They're doing fabulous work here. They are really setting a terrific example for not just in schools in New Bedford and the surrounding region, but really nationally. It's really stood out as a particularly effective place under the terrific leadership of Darcy Youngs, the principal, and the fabulous staff here. So they're really setting the tone. We're very proud of what they've been able to achieve, and most of all, we're very proud of what they've been able to do with the young minds here. The kids are doing great, and it's really a striking thing to see, and it gives us hope for the city's future. And the kids are doing as well as they are here. We know that the future is bright for our city. So with all that, it's been the Mayor's Weekly Update, and we'll see you next week.